Hey guys, how are you doing? So this is Bali from NoNameLeft and from Phase on Audio, and today we are going to do some sound design together. Okay, so let's just open up Serum and let's just go with an init preset, and we are just going to use this saw wave and we are just going to make a sub bass out of this for the first thing. Okay, let's just put this 2 octaves lower and turn down the random phase, because you don't want your bass to phase, you want this to be constant, but I will get back to this in a second. To get into my envelopes, I like to use my first envelope as the amplitude envelope and the second one as the filter envelope. I just kind of have this system that I will all the time use them like this. You can just change it up from time to time, but for me this works nicely because then I just do it every time like this and I don't have to think about it. And how I like to just design the length of the sound is that I get rid of the sustain, because like if you make a short sound, and in this case we will make a short sound, you don't really need to think about sustain. It's easier to just like dial in the length with an attack, decay and release. And what I will do already is just get some 16 notes here, because since we are making a rolling bass line. Let's just go here down. Let's make them shorter because we want to have some time for the release. And now it sounds super shitty and worrying, but that's totally okay. Now we are just going to apply a filter here and turn down the FET, or turn down the resonance, and turn it to 24 dBs per octave. And we will also just turn on this envelope and put it on the filter frequency, and we will just make this shorter. Again, sustain down, decay down. It will sound something like this, which is already kind of like a bass line, something like that, like a rolling psy bass or whatever you want to call it. The thing is, you can turn up the drive and the FET if you want, if you're using resonance, because what it does is that back in the day when you had the Moog and the old Acid 303 synths, when you turned up the resonance, the bass kind of died, and you can just give that back with these buttons. But we don't need that right now. I just wanted to let you guys know. And also, if you want to check how your sound is looking, what you can do is just go here and grab, where is it? Function is like, there is a function where you can just grab the sound and put it outside, and it should be here, but I cannot see it right now, which is a bit strange, but whatever. So what I will do now is just like dial in really nicely the envelopes, and then after it I'm just going to duplicate this and make this as an audio bounce track in place. And I do it for 2 reasons. First, just to have a visual representation of what's going on, and secondly, because sometimes even when you turn down the random phase, it's still kind of phasing, and it still kind of changes the phase a bit. I don't know why, but I saw this a couple of times with bass lines. So just to make sure, I just like to loop one short section here, because then I know that it will stay the same every time. And this is a really important thing when it comes to sub bass, because you want to have like a really constant correlation in between the kick drum and the sub bass. And if you just change it up and you make it different, then sometimes the kick and sub will work and sometimes it won't, which is not an ideal situation. But right now it's 100% the same all the time. So now we can just go from here, and now you can just like listen to this with the track. And this already sounds really good. add some saturation on the top of everything because we want this to be even more saturated. I really like this Omega plugin. And after that we can just put here an echo to add some space, some delay. And you just want to turn the sides slightly off. It's kind of like a Haas effect, like you just put like 1% and here and 2% there, like minus plus, and yeah, it's kind of works like when you put a delay on a channel and you just like slightly off delay one side. And I know it's not the nicest effect to get some stereo if you're just using a Haas effect, but sometimes it does work, and it is actually a way smoother version when you're using it in a delay, because if you think about it, it just delays the one side of the delay a bit, so it's just like really subtle thing. And also what I will do now, from the sub I will put this second kickstart on our sound just before the delay. And with the sub bass and the drums, we are getting a really nice rolling bass line. Actually, you can do this with maybe a reverb tail of a synth as well. I just like to use vocals because it feels a bit more natural. And maybe if you really want, you can add like another layer, like let you go like -5. Alright, let's just make some maybe arpeggio or synth sound to it as well. I will reuse our bass line. Let's maybe reuse our top bass line from the rolling bass. And yes, if you reuse your own things, then you just kind of get this like cohesive sound that sounds nice together, because you're just like kind of tweaking the same pitch. But of course I will just really change this. Let's turn this off, going up a couple of octaves. And now I will just turn on this mono legato, because I want this to play only one note, and later on I will want this to be glided a bit, or like glided in between notes. And I know it like this, it sounds kind of cheap, but I will turn on this key tracking, which means if I play higher notes, it will just open the filter more and more. Now I will turn on this noise, but let's look for something like an analog noise. So when I open up the filter later, I will just get this like noisy sound on the top. Maybe I will look for something else here. Now we're just going back to analog, and let's just add another. And let's make a bit of melody here, or something that can go on our track, because this is how you continue your sound design, when you just like have an idea where it goes. And I don't really have an idea in my head now, so I'm just going to put randomly some notes in. Cool. And now what we are going to do is just like add some octaves to it. And yeah, like this random note technique sometimes works really nicely. Maybe just duplicate this. You can already hear in the sound that this is just actually doing these little glides in between the notes, but it's just a bit too loud, so I will turn it down. And I will also put some reverb on this. But this pre-delay is just too much. And also let's put an echo here to have some delay. And what could you do here, just to go in sound design again, is just you just use an auto filter with a notch. And you just use an LFO here to make this go around. But what you do is just put it in a group and create another chain, and then you use another auto filter, but this time you not use a notch, but you use a bandpass. And you use another filter on this, and maybe just drive it as well. And you also have a dry chain. You just make them less loud. Without. You just get these like weird textures because these filters are just going around with the track. Yeah, we are already going somewhere.